Nigeria is blessed with an abundant reserve of 37 billion barrels of oil, enough to meet the country's energy needs for 273 years. The country's oil has remarkable qualities such as low sulfur content, easy to blend, and can be extracted quite easily. Nigeria's oil may be good, but the country is yet to see any remarkable economic growth from its oil. The Dangote oil refinery hopes to change the fortunes of the over 223 million people living in Nigeria. Do you think it is possible? And how long will it take the 650,000 barrels per day facility to change the most populous country in Africa? Oil in Nigeria is a double-edged sword. In some countries like Saudi Arabia and Russia, the discovery of oil has brought immense prosperity and progress, while in others like Nigeria, it has resulted in economic turmoil, inequality, and corruption. This phenomenon is often referred to as the paradox of plenty, and economists term it the resource curse. Every now and then, tempests flare as people wait in long queues, hoping to fill up their fuel tanks. Then, life comes to a standstill for millions in Lagos, the largest city, and Abuja, the capital. They struggle to find clean petrol because of recent imports of cheap fuel, which many complain has caused damage to their vehicles and affected their livelihoods. The government-run oil company started supplying emergency fuel to stations to alleviate the crisis. Despite being a major crude oil producer in Africa, the country still relies on importing petrol to meet its domestic needs. Nigerians heavily depend on petrol and diesel not only for vehicles and industries, but also to power most homes and businesses. Fuel shortage can have a significant negative impact on the economy. It affects productivity. The transport sector is affected the most by its limited availability. This scarcity causes significant disruptions to productivity and may also contribute to inflationary pressures. But the question remains, will this situation ever change? Is there a possibility of having sufficient fuel in Nigeria? Maybe there's a savior, the Dangote oil refinery. Africa's largest oil refinery has recently been inaugurated in Nigeria with the aim of easing the persistent fuel shortages in the country. A little background information on this is that Nigeria's new Dangote petroleum refinery is Africa's biggest, and it will produce 650,000 barrels a day, giving it the potential to address Nigeria's energy supply crisis. It is owned by Nigerian industrialist and Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote. The refinery is expected to boost domestic refining capacity, eliminating the current consumption shortfall. It will also reduce import dependency and stimulate economic growth. Additionally, the refinery has a deep-sea port, enabling it to handle large mega supertankers carrying petroleum or crude oil. This port serves as a backup plan if there are challenges with the Nigerian crude oil supply, such as theft or pipeline damage caused by rebels. It can still operate at a reduced capacity by importing crude oil from countries like Equatorial Guinea, Ghana, or Gabon through the port. Another important aspect of their operations is a petrochemical complex that manufactures fertilizer for agriculture. Dangote's vision is to support Africa's farming sector by providing affordable and easily accessible fertilizer to empower the continent in agricultural practice. This initiative could significantly impact and bring about positive changes in the region. Even though Nigeria is a significant oil-producing nation, a major portion of its produced oil is exported, while the country still needs to import refined fuel for domestic use, including vehicles and other purposes. Nigeria exports its crude oil to various countries, including China, India, and South Africa. Afterward, refined petroleum products such as petrol and diesel are imported from Europe, particularly the Netherlands, which is also an oil-producing country. In 2022, Nigeria used a total of of 23.3 billion US dollars to buy petrol and diesel from other countries. Each day, they consume a massive 33 million liters of these fuels combined. Due to this situation, Nigeria frequently experiences ongoing shortages of fuel. To address this issue, Africa's wealthiest individual, Aliko Dangote, has set out to build this refinery to tackle the fuel shortage problem in the country. The ambitious project required a total of $19 billion for construction, even though the initial estimation was $9 billion. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria revealed that the Dangote refinery's actual cost was $18 billion. So far, 70% of this amount has been paid back. The 70% repayment comes from 50% of the entire cost that Dangote borrowed from financial institutions. The governor mentioned that the outstanding loans have reduced significantly from over $9 billion at the project's beginning to 2.7 billion naira. Aliko Dangote, the Nigerian businessman, first revealed his plans for the refinery back in September 2013, where he secured about $3.3 billion in financing. Originally estimated to cost about $9 billion, the Dangote Group planned to invest $3 billion, and the rest was to be funded through commercial loans, with production expected to begin in 2016. However, due to a change in location to Lekki, construction only started in 2016 with excavation and infrastructure preparation, causing the completion date to be pushed back to the late 2018. In July 2017, they started building the refinery's major structures, and Dangote predicted that the whole construction would be finished around late 2019. The refinery was planned to be up and running by early 2020. However, it turned out that the construction would take much longer than what Dangote had publicly announced. They expected it to be at least twice as long, with only partial refining capability likely to be achieved by 2022. Fitch Ratings, a reputable financial analysis company, expressed concern as the refinery's start date had been delayed 3 times in 4 years. They worried that if operations didn't commence in 2023, it could reduce investor confidence. Here's the update. Even though the refinery was officially commissioned by the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, it won't actually start operating in 2023. It seems the commissioning event was more of a symbolic ceremony, and the actual start date for operations has been delayed until 2025. This massive refinery is set to employ more than 250,000 Nigerians. Another remarkable thing is that the refinery's capacity surpasses the combined output of all of Nigeria's current refining facilities. This means that the Dangote refinery can single-handedly meet the entire fuel demand within the country and still have enough refined product to export to other places. Nigeria uses 33 million liters of petrol daily. The new Dangote refinery has the capacity to refine 51 million liters of petrol every day, which means there will be an extra 20 million liters every day. This surplus is significant for Nigeria because it changes their status from being the biggest importer of petroleum products to becoming the largest exporter. This refinery has the potential to not only refine crude oil but also export the refined product, marking a major shift in Nigeria's petroleum industry. All of this positive change is thanks to the Dangote refinery. All 53 African countries have agreed to purchase fuel from Nigeria. The Dangote oil refinery is taking an important step in boosting Nigeria's foreign earnings by exporting fuel to these 53 African countries. The Dangote refinery holds great importance as it aims to tackle several issues. Firstly, it seeks to increase the country's refining capacity by twice its current level. This means more fuel can be produced locally, reducing the need for imports. Additionally, the refinery will cater to the growing demand for fuel within the country. More Moreover, the project will play a role in boosting the nation's economy through exports by selling refined fuel to other countries. It will generate foreign exchange, which can be beneficial for the country's financial stability. According to Dangote, the refinery's impact goes beyond just fuel availability. It will ensure a constant supply of high-quality fuels for the transportation sector. Furthermore, it will provide essential raw materials for various manufacturing industries, supporting their growth and development. The refinery is located in the Lekki-Free Zone, a large area for trade without restrictions, covering over 16,000 hectares. The plan for this zone also includes ideas for an airport, a community for new businesses, and areas for both commercial and residential purpose. According to the head of Nigeria's central bank, the refinery has a processing capacity that is more than enough to fulfill Nigeria's fuel needs within the country. He explained that Nigeria could become self-sufficient in oil and even export extra supplies to other parts of the world. During the event, Ghana's president Nana Akufo-Addo also praised the Dangote refinery, calling it a remarkable project that contributes to making West Africa stronger and better. The Nigerian government fully supports the Dangote refinery, even though some argue that it's too much support and might interfere with the free market. However, its backers and many economists believe that this refinery represents a significant opportunity to change the negative impact of oil production into something positive. The world is moving towards renewable energy, and the clock is ticking for oil-dependent economies. This support for the refinery is risky, but if it succeeds, it will go down in history as a remarkable example of how businesses can lead infrastructure development. The most crucial aspect is that it can potentially improve the lives of millions of Nigerians, making it an essential and ambitious vision that cannot afford to fail. Nigeria has missed numerous opportunities in the past, even facing a civil war, but this game-changing refinery offers a final chance to transform the curse of oil dependence into a blessing. Given the current situation, Nigeria needs this opportunity more than ever as Dangote Industries Limited continues to execute its vision, a vision invested in the future of Nigerians and Nigeria. There is only one goal: to grow the biggest human capital ever seen in this part of the world.